Everybody, I wish that I had a bigger space heater because I tell you it gets really cold. We've got snow, and we've had more snow. Then we had some more snow. All right. So today, let's see here. I've got this. This is that ESEE knife, Izula, and I'm gonna take this and we're gonna soup it up a little bit. Add a little couple little features here and there, and like I said, you could do stuff inside the handle here, but here's the thing: once you do that, you got to have the tool with you to remove these. You'll have to switch them to like flathead so that you can get them apart to be able to get inside there. So that's why I don't recommend putting anything in there for that reason. Now, that's all set. We just need to make a pouch, and I like typically making it out of leather like this. And this is a strap I had made, and you could just use this type of, it's like couch leather. It's you go to the thrift store, you go to a place that has discounted stuff, and then you just buy yourself a handbag, a tote bag that's made out of some type of soft material, or find someone's abandoned couch. Anyway, and there's upholstery centers out there that do paint and body work and stuff like that, and sometimes they have upholstery laying around. You might be able to get it real cheap. They don't need the color. Anyway, there's that, because you can dye this stuff. And let's see here. I know most folks like it when I do regular chats. There we go. I got this piece. Sometimes I have leftovers, like that's some really thin stuff that was left over for leather. And just sometimes I have leftovers and I like to use that stuff. Like this piece here would be a good piece to make a little pouch out of. So I'm going to do that with this. So let's just do it with this. You don't want anything big. You can get this. These are mint containers. Some people get these and they have their beard or mustache balm. People that do that sort of thing, they get things like this. So it's this, mints, some have gum. I've seen fire starters stored in this one right here. There's a variety, so you just got to look around for it to find this one. But you'll find it at any convenience store or something. When you're checking out, look on top. You'll see something, other mints. Grab it. You'll have yourself a storage container. Now, I got to figure out what I'm going to put in it, but not right now. I'm doing this part first. So I just got to figure out how big I want it. Do I want a snap or not? Let's come over here. Is that cleaner? Yeah. You got to look. See, this was a scrap piece of leather that was on the floor, so it's got marks on it. But I don't care. It's for me. All right. Dun, dun, dun. So, something like a snap. So you got to have room for a snap, but you got to have room for the whole thing. So you got to come here. Right about here. Save a little bit of room. And make sure you're calculating the width of everything like this. Do it like this. That way you can kind of figure out like that. See? Now you get the idea how much you're going to need there. And you can get your pen. Finally got my ink replaced in my little unicorn pen. Alright, so you come right about here. So give it a mark. That way we know where we're at. And pull this out. Now that we know where we're going here, we know about how much to cut. So it's like right about here, here. So I can just go ahead and cut all that out. You can use scissors, like I usually do, just to cut out the rough. You can do the fine details in a sec once you get it all cut out. That's just your rough. Then you take this and then you want to get some type of steel ruler. I have different kinds of these, but most of these are Fiskars. People are always asking what kind I use. It's either this one or this one. I like this one because it's just fast to the point. This one I just changed the blade out, so I don't want to I just put a new blade in that one. We line this one up line it up with your base. Make sure you got a straight line. And just give it a cut. Just like that. Make sure it's tight. Sometimes it's kind of wobbly. I use whatever straight edge I've got, so I make sure I line up to the same spot every single time. Now, when I don't play music in these videos, it tends to run a little bit longer than normal. Alright. So you might not be able to find some things when you're prepping, you know, but you might find others, okay? And this is when skills come into the bills, and skills to pay the bills, right? You need to be able to adjust, you know a few things. And so you might not be able to carry everything you need. It's kind of like the person who has the bracelet with everything on it, you know, the person who has the watch with everything, you know what I mean? Or the neck knife. It's redundancy is key. You know, you got to have more options. But you need to make sure, like, it's kind of like having a car bag, you know, a get home bag, a get out of Dodge bag, a bug out bag, or a was it never coming home bag, never coming home again bag. Anyways, the inch bag, never coming home. Anyways, people have different options. So now that we got this, get that kind of figured out there, I kind of want it there. I think I want to bring it down more because I'd like to be able to grab it so it doesn't get stuck in there. That'll happen. Nice and tight. So I might end up getting this wet and then moving it around, or I'm probably going to dye it and then move it around and then do all the other work. All right, let's bring this down. Okay, so we're going to cut right about here. Nice straight edge. We're just going to cut, let's bring it up a little bit more. We're just going to cut that off. Then, we got that cut. Let's go ahead and cut off a little bit more off the side. It's probably getting a little bit too wide. Do more cut. Okay. Back here, as you were. Up here. Now, hold that down. Look for your loops. Your loops are right about there. So that's where your loopholes are going to go. Left and right, your loopholes. Okay, so I can cut off quite a bit more. I want to make sure before I go cutting. If I go cutting too much, then I'm going to regret it. And then, why? So this is how you do that. Take this and kind of do that. Then, when you get that where you want it, bring your ruler in. Give yourself about a 1/2 inch. Something like that. Yeah. Give yourself about a 1/2 inch. But you need to get some kind of idea. Because leather needs room. It needs room for when you put the item in. Because when you put the item in, it might not fit, right? Alright. Okay. So now you get this. This will snap to that. I'll have plenty of room when I'm left over. And now I can go ahead and dye this and start cutting everything the way I want. I use a mix. I've got different kinds. I've got the... I don't like... There's some that I don't like, okay? When it comes to dyeing. Like if it says caution, flammable, look at the difference. This one does... It's real easy to tell the difference when you're looking for dye. It'll say on it, caution, flammable. This one doesn't say anything. Why is that? Well, this one's not alcohol-based. This one's alcohol-based. Once you apply it to something, it's like applying paint. And it'll dye your skin, and you need alcohol to break it down. Folks don't know that. It's like, wait a minute, I didn't know that. No wonder those stains wouldn't come out. But it's alcohol-based. You can't use any other product to get it off, like if you get it on the floor or something. This right here, this is just my own concoction that I add to this. It doesn't have, it's alcohol-free. so you don't have to worry about a little cup there. Here's a little cup. Anyways, it's alcohol free, so you don't have to worry about making a big fat mess. All right, soak it up. Sometimes you'll have to press these in, but keep these. You always use these things. It just makes everything way easier than using anything else. Sometimes you get little fuzzies that come off these things. Well, back to what I was saying. You want to make sure you keep all the basic concepts in mind. What do you need to do for survival, right? You need food, right? You need food at some point. You know, you could last for several days without food. Water is number one, right? Air is technically oxygen is number one, right? Seems like, damn it, I ain't got no air. You're in space. Anyway, so here's the thing: like you want to have a way to get water. So you would do, while I'm doing this, you do aqua tabs and find yourself a water container, some type of container. That would boil. You would need a metal container at that point. You need to find something metal. I wouldn't go with aluminum. Just something you can boil water in. And there's other ways you can boil water in plastic containers. It's really tricky. Well, next thing you want is a way for shelter. So you want some cordage, right? Some good quality cordage. That's what you're going to want, some cordage. Something to make a fire, okay? Ferro rod. And you know, there's different means for making a fire. There's this, like you just do the flint, little flint doodads. These are cool. Or you could cheat, go the whole 9 yards. Now the only difference is this is if it gets wet, it might not start right away. So you got to find a way to dry it out. That could get dangerous. And you can break these down and skim them and trim them, and they're very flammable. Once you get them broke down, you can actually use it as its own fire starting and tinder. It's crazy how great a Bic lighter is. It's good to have it with you, but don't make that your main plan. It's lighter. Weight's everything. Grams equals pounds equals pain. So you want to make sure whatever you're packing up and putting together, it's light. Way to get food. You could add fishing hooks, snare traps. Like this Titan survival cord has snare wire in it. You could use that to catch some varmints and get yourself some food. Other ways of making fire, back to this, a decent magnifying glass. You guys remember Lord of the Flies? They all killed they killed old boy for the freaking his glasses. And then they freaking did their little fire dance, Evil Zoo, and then the Marines showed up and rescued everyone. Remember that? Anyways, most people don't remember that. But anyways, cool movie. Did you learn anything from that movie? You could do a whole survival series on that movie, right? All right. There's that. It's drying. I'm going to come back and we'll flip this around. Next up. It's dry enough. I'm going to keep moving. I normally would just keep the video without doing a lot of editing and I just talk, but I just don't want to drag it out too much. I want this to match somewhat some going black. I like that color. I like that way that looks. So black, it's called black chrome. So I do black chrome. Someone's going to ask, where do I get those exact ones like that are like that shiny color? Shiny but dark. They like that. So it's called black chrome. So it's called. Sometimes I use brass everything, or sometimes I use like that. All right. There's this. Now, I want to go ahead and add this part first. So we're going to get my pin, poke, put it in place, bring it right about here, make sure I can grab it, and then right about there, should be good, boom, and then poke, bring it through the back, because when you make that cone shape on the inside, you're not going to get the pin in there like you want. You don't have to do these fine, intricate holes. You just need a pin. Something like that has a bowed section to it. They're in, like, you know, almost every leathercraft kit has this. I would use this. I've been using this same one for years now. That's my favorite. This here, it's that simple. And then you can, you know, you got some iron wood laying around. You get yourself a hammer. This is probably going to be a long video because I'm talking the whole time. But y'all like it, right? Alright. Bring this down. So usually you just see me like doing a video where I'm like moving 100 miles an hour. Like, it takes so long. Boom. Just like that. Solid. Then you can stitch that up. And you just got to figure out what the top's going to look like. So I'll just set that to the side. And now I just got to figure out the top part. I think what I'm going to do here, I'm keeping this so flippin' simple. I don't want a lot of trouble with this. That's my thing for this whole project. I don't want any trouble with this. I just want this to be really easy to make. So my next thing for making this really easy to make, I get tired of doing all these little details where it's like so long. It'll take me a year to finish that project. And I'm like, oh gosh, another hour? I can't do this. All right. This is out of control. All right. Like that, right there, there. You want to make sure it stops, right? Oh, good. I got to turn it around. Hang on. As you were. Turn it around. Like this, right? Bring it down to here. And then bring it to here. Look for your holes. And then you come to the other side like this. And you flip this around. Flip this around. And then you poke your holes. Because you want to know where they are. Like that. It's just, I'm going to put some weight on it. I don't want it moving around on me. I'll just peck it. Dah. Dah. Like that. Now that I know that, I'll try and drive all the way through. Hang on. I think that's, yep. Make sure I get this one. There we go. I think I got that one pegged. Did I? Nope. I guess I need to peg that one too, huh? Because that's just going to be a tack. Like that. Bam! Alright. Now, the best thing to do for this, hang on, let me carry you over here. Now for this, I usually just use 556 brass, 223 brass, whichever one. So make these perfect cut holes with this stuff. I don't sit around reloading this stuff. I ain't got time for all that. Some stuff I don't reload for the folks that want to know. I just get sick of reloading some things. There's a guy in a factory somewhere busting them out faster than I can. But I have all the supplies to reload everything. I'm not going to sit around reloading 556. And if you guys are looking for ammo and you're catching this message, you can go to CH Cadell, I think, is limiting the amount you can get. I think you can only get one box at a time, but they have ammo. Mostly rifle and shotgun. And if you go to FireQuest, they have everything available. So make sure you check them out. I always support those guys. Alright, we got this done up. Now I want to get this done before I do anything else. Where'd my things go? Oh. I spend most of the time looking around the table trying to figure out where my stuff went. Where'd my stuff go? Alright. These are cool. I can't remember. That's your size. Those are the black rivets. I think those are 8. Black rivets. These are for Kydex. These are eyelet holes for Kydex. I use this. This is what I use. Someone's going to want to know. That's 4. I think I'll do 5 and 6. Let's do that. Let's make it look crazy. I need to order some more of these before I forget. That's the other thing. Someone says, "Hey man, can you make me one of them?" And then I go, "Yeah." And I get back here and I go, "Dang." I missed that my stuff. Where'd all my stuff go? Somebody ordered that trash. Alright. Bum, bum, bum. Alright. See how easy they slip in there? Like 5.56 brass, I'm telling you. It's the exact size for these. These holes are 5.56. Is that a size anymore? Someone, I'm sorry I'm laughing so much. I'm in a good mood for some reason. Yeah, my kids made me laugh, I guess. And my kids are super sweet. I had 3 kids I'm homeschooling every single day of my life, and then I try and juggle that, and I just pray to the good Lord that everything will be all right, and I get to take care of the kids and you know, give me strength, you know, that kind of prayer. And that's usually the case for me because I'm homeschooling and freaking juggling everything else. The 3 kids sitting at the table, I'm like, geez, man. At least they're learning something, you know what I mean? It's the best I can do. Sometimes it's the hardest thing. You were given a decision, you know? You can do this or you could do this. You're at the crossroads now. You needed to make your mind up. What are you going to do with your kids? That's the big thing. All right. If you got a piece of good solid wood like this, use the wood. Don't use steel on these. I almost did that. Don't use steel because it'll jack them all up. It'll look like nastiness. But use something soft on one side. Do the curl on the other. Damn. I get my hammer again. The curl on the other. That way, you don't jack them all up. They'll look like trash. I mean, you won't like it. You'll be sad. Sad panda. You don't want to be a sad panda. Nobody wants to be a sad panda. All right. There you go. Thing went everywhere. Man, you know, I've been doing this stuff for years and I'm still learning. I have no idea what I'm doing half the time, but then again, I do. You ever think about that? It's like everybody who's done their job for like years or whatever, they look back and they go, you know, still I don't know what I'm doing. I had a guy one time, this master sergeant or something. I think he was a master sergeant. See it? They got jacked up. See what it did there? It got just a little bit too much pressure on it. It's all right though. This master sergeant, he just told me one time, I'm a master at all my MOSs. I had 4 MOSs. This guy's like, I was a master at all my MOSs. And I walked out. I looked at my gunny, and I'm like, nobody's a fucking master. It's like, nobody is a master. You know, it just irritates me when someone says, I'm a master. Nobody is a master. It's like so freaking hard to be a master of anything. You're not going to master it. Never met anybody. It's like folks in the Corps that are like, I'm a master. Yeah? Really now? Really? You are a master. Yeah. I mastered my MOS, is what he said. I mastered my MOSs. You did no such thing. Alright. Got a little scratch on that one. That one there looks a little squirrely, but nobody's probably going to even see it anyway, so it's alright. Make sure you're close to lining up with your daggone. Oh well. Did I get that close? Alright. So that one goes, okay, I see what it did there. That goes there, that goes there. Okay. Alright, I got it close. The other two are just to secure it. I forgot what I did there. Now I kind of do this. That. Take that guy out. And you can carve the corners and stuff, get all fancy with it, you know, and go, you don't have to do it with this. And this just needs to be in a circle, but you gotta make sure, you need to make sure that's where it's going to be. Or that is where you want it, to be honest with you. Bring this over, indention, put your finger on there, press, come back, you'll see your, see what I'm talking about? That's where your snap goes. Well, you just make it a little bit straighter than that. I think that's a little bit better. Yep. Then you punch your hole. So now you know where that goes. I did the same thing. I just told you not to do that. I just tell somebody else not to do that, and then I turn around and like, what the? You just said don't do that. Sometimes folks just do whatever the last thing it is they heard to do. All right, Marines, we're going to go up this hill, and whatever you do, don't run. Last thing they heard was run. They all run. All right. Set. This. That. You sit here. Dadgum. Turn it around. Boom. Got it. Check Raj. Raj, check. Smack. Smack. There we go. Good and tight. Now, flip, snap, like I said, it's the perfect size. You can check with your curves if you've got some curve tools like I got. I got some of these guys. Sometimes you can check. That ain't gonna work. You could do individual sides like this, but just manually do it. You're gonna be wasting your time with that, and it's probably not gonna look so hot. So just manually. Like that. That's usually what I do anyway. Sort of. You're gonna have to eyeball it, but just be careful not to. See, that one looks kind of sloppy. Sometimes you gotta turn it in the exact angle as the other one. And then you're gonna have to cut off a little bit more. Like that. That looks better. Ta-da! See there. Now I can round that out. I can make that look a little bit better. Get that off. I think I'll leave that. Cut. Nope. Boom. That's better. And you could, like I said, do that. Get it nice and flat. That's cool. That works really well. Now, you've got all that done. That pretty much sums that up. So you'd be able to secure that on there, and it'll be nice and tight on there when you secure it. Now you just got to load it up with stuff. Like I said, I already told you kind of what I would go with. I also use, I wasn't kidding when I said it, fishing line or Spartan Fire. It's like I told you before, I always support the Spartan Fire guy. And there's the spark fire here. You take this and you got these little sheets. Just use these sheets. Just fold them up inside this thing, and you can put a compass inside. Me, what I wanted to do was use these. I first wanted to put these on the back. I want to like secure them to the back. No one's going to see any of this trash, so I just kind of want to like, I want to secure them back here. This one has double-sided tape. I have more double-sided tape for this and this. That's your thermometer. But I want to be able to secure these in the back. Nobody can even see them. That way when I'm out on the lot and I'm closing the cattle gates and stuff, I can turn my knife around and just, you know, turn that on. I can see the chains and stuff in front of me. Sometimes I have trouble seeing half the stuff that's out there. Anyways, and you can, capsules, you can pick these up at any drugstore. These are cool. Put all kinds of crazy survival gear inside of them. You can put those on the side instead of, you know, or stuff it inside there, because that's the same size in comparison. It's the same exact size almost. So I could stuff that, or, you know, or do one of these for those of you that are concerned about that type of thing. Another thing you can do, now these are, most folks will get these capsules here and they'll carry them with them and use them for, they're made of solid brass. I got a couple of these, but they're made of solid brass, but they're secure. You could put medicine in them, whatever. You could put a survival kit, but I use them as survival caches. Like you can take these and drill out a hole in something that's inconspicuous, like a little notch outside that looks like a reflector, you know, because I've got I've got these little reflectors, like to let you know where all the fences are and stuff. And sometimes I'll take the reflector and I'll turn it to the side, and then I'll drill a little hole and I'll slide one of these in there and close it. And it might have caffeine or something in it, you know what I mean? When you're out, when you're out and about. Anyways, I thought it was kind of neat. Or you could roll up a $20 bill and shove in there, right? Same with these things. You can get these at Harbor Freight. These are just little wet capsules. Keeps things from getting wet. You can stuff these inside your hollow handled knife. What else? I don't know what else I should tell you. This, you could do a small ferro rod, or you could do a longer one, which I'm probably going to do the longer one for this. Not quite sure if I want to do that or not. But you would just go like that. Yeah. And this is your connector if you're using for paracord. This is a neck connector. That's all you look for, a neck connector for paracord necklace. But you get these, and they come in like a pack of 100 for like $1. But anyways, see how hollow? It's hollow on the inside. And you could put, I've shown people before, I had a little, you know, it's funny, like I had it like right here, and then now I don't know what to do with it. But anyways, like there's little tic-tac compasses that are really small. You could fit them right down in there. Something like that. You can get those at Hobby Lobby, the small compasses, and you can put some fire tinder or something, or a magnesium capsule inside of it or whatever. And then you just put the cap on this thing when you're done, and now you've got a ferro rod handle, you know, and you just slip that guy right in there somewhere, you know, or in the back. No one even knows it's there. Or if you don't want to do something that's crazy, it's too much, just open this thing. Just open this, get the small one like that, and you can still do a gig like this, but use something you can see, like a green glow-in-the-dark bead. You can pick up at Hobby Lobby as well, something like that. Let's see, give it a small whack. Just make sure it's on there. That should hold. Now, you've got a ferro rod, just like that, and it glows in the dark. So you can shove that in there, just like that, and you're done. Then you can do all your other stuff, right? You know, fishing kit. What are you going to use for a fishing kit? So I mean, just like some of these. Some hooks. A couple of hooks in there. Then for compass, like I said, I'm already doing all that, so I don't need to do any of that. Now, fishing line, it already has fishing knot line in a necklace, so I don't need to do that. I just need to get some of the hooks in there. Then you could do some tabs, some water purification tablets. Boom. It's just to get you out of a jam, right? Water purification tablets. And you could use a needle if you need to. Let's see. You don't need a striker because you have your knife. You could pack a striker if you're concerned about it. Just pack a little striker in there. And let's see. Where's magnifying glass? That's something I would definitely put in there if you can. You'll have to make room, so you'll probably have to trim around it. Just trim around the edges so that it fits. Just make sure it fits first. You have to be very careful. I've gotten pretty good at all these weird little customizings. I've started cutting and trimming some pretty weird things. You do that so you don't ruin that. You still have something to hold on to. Just about got it. And if you're afraid you're going to ruin it, just grab your drill. Just like that. Look at that. Look how neat that looks. That's how you do it right there. Let me get this real thing. Ta-da. That's cool. Check that out, man. That's pretty neat. Now that I got that done, you want to put it where some surface is splitting, separating. So just use some of this stuff here and wrap it up. Wrap it in something. You can use aluminum foil too, because it's good for reflecting and survival, right? Reflecting and stuff. Perfect. There we go. Now, I got that in there. Let's go ahead and remove everything else. I'm going to put that in first, since it's kind of dropping in there weird. Tabs, striker over here, a couple of hooks, just for emergencies. That you don't find yourself doing a lot of things that, you know, some folks say you would, but anyways, you get the point. A couple of weights. Let's do the small ones over here. 2 weights. Boom, boom. Might need those. The ultimate thing for fire starting is these magnesium tablets. If you got these things available, put these in. So you can get them to fit. I don't care about a bunch of the other things. You got to make sure you can get a fire going. That's kind of like your last resort. How many of you ever been in that situation where you're like, man, if I only had something better for fire starting. Everything's wet. That's the other thing people don't really discuss much, is like the situations with this stuff you end up in, where it's like mostly everything's wet. All right. There's that. Got some room in there. Try something else here. I'm just going to throw 2 of these in there. Strike anywhere match. Put those down a bit. Just like that. Should be able to get at least one in there. It's time consuming, I'm telling you. I've seen people just do match heads. Yeah, you are waiting on it to snap, aren't you? You're like, any minute now he's going to snap that thing. I got it. I just had to take the whole thing apart. Ta-da! There it goes. Right there. Little kit. Little kit. I can snap that in there. Voila. And that is done with that. Now I just need to get my Chicago screws and mount that up. There you have it. With the screws installed. Pretty neat. See? Just screws. Now I got to do the rest. If you're wondering how to do this, I got to burn these real quick. It's got like these little leftover, whatever I'm doing it. Pull that one off. These are magnets. Key magnets is what you call them. They're also used in fly fishing. Pull this out. The end here, you're going to want to just kind of cut that. It's got too much. There it goes. Yeah, it's just got too much going on there. I'm heating this up to shrink it. You can do pace counters, a pace counter. If you would like, you just simply take like skull beads, run them down, the whole thing. You just do a 9 count if you're going to do your pace counter. I'm trying to get this smoothed out. It's giving me a hard time. Gosh. If you stuck to your hand, yeah, it burned. But that's life. All right. 1, 2. You can put them all on one side, or you can separate them. 2. Check that again. 2. Let me just put them all on there real quick. All right, that's how it is. Just do a loop. You just come back again, and you just twist. It's real simple. It's like it's easier to show you on a separate piece that has a little more color to it, like this. Okay, I can show you better on this. So you'll run it through your magnet like that. You'll come down. That's your magnet attaching end, and then you run it, and then you come back up like this, and then you come back down, and you go wrap, and then you put it into the hole, and then you just give it a pull, just like that. And then when you get it fixed, it's adjustable. So left and right, it's adjustable. It's an adjustable necklace. That's how you do that. For those that want to know. But that's how I did this. It's adjustable. So I go up, and then I adjust it through here. Just like that. Now it fits my neck better or whatever. Come back. Boom. you make it to the length that you need it permanent. That's permanent length right there. If I want it to hang lower, or you can even use this as a belt. A lot of folks don't think about it like that. But if you extend them all the way out and then clasp it, it becomes like a hip knife or something. I know, something to think about. Anyways, there you go. Hope you enjoyed it. God bless. Take care.